All right, good evening, nerds around the world. Welcome to episode 14 of the Nerds Unite as One podcast. It's your boy Paul English. I'll be hosting this special event, and I got a good panel with me today. First of all, that I'm going to introduce right now, joined as always by my good buddy Caleb Tuff. Caleb, how are you?
I'm good. How are we doing, guys? Let's get excited.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And, of course, he's come in from Maryland, Mr. Chris Miller. How are you?
Doing good, fellas. Doing good. I gotta say, Suicide Squad Joker. Oh, my God. Especially this.
Gearing up for his next year already. We're not even halfway through 2015. And he's back again, Mr. Jack. Jack, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. And I'm excited because we get Arrow and Flash back this week, finally.
Yes.
Praise
Who
God.
cares?
Especially after that hell of a cliffhanger.
Who cares?
I know. Like, come on. All right, and he's back again, Mr. Max Vincent. How are you?
Hello.
I do not like the sound of that laugh. I think we're in trouble, boys.
God.
It's like a Joker.
All right, so,
It's the DC basher.
all right, so what do we got here today? Well, this is Caleb's idea, so I'm going to let him handle it. So, Caleb, take it away.
All right, guys. As you know, everyone here, we're all big fans of superheroes. We talk about the movies, we talk about the games, we talk about the comic books, blah blah blah. What I want to do today is I wanted to dig a little deeper and have a discussion. We each have a list, and we wanted to just talk about why we love superheroes so much, how we grew to love them, what was our first experience with them, and so on and so forth. And just kind of have a discussion as to why they're so popular. How they've impacted you either positively or negatively for some reason, and yeah, just kind of have a discussion about that today. Exciting. So I'm gonna get Paulie, why don't you get us started? Give me your first experience, kind of, to superheroes, if you can remember, Paulie. What gave you your love for them? Kind of got you started on that path.
Well, what got me started, I remember being 6, 7 years old watching Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all the time. I mean, those were my obsessions. I would also occasionally watch Sonic the Hedgehog a few times. So, that's how it got started for me. Just obsessing over Power Rangers, especially toys, and watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all the time, and then occasionally Sonic the Hedgehog as well. I know that there were a lot of X-Men and Spider-Man cartoons going on at the time, and even the Batman one, but I wasn't really interested in comic book superheroes at the time. But I think another reason was that the stories in there, they're really compelling right now, but I guess I just wasn't mature enough to appreciate how good they were. I didn't really think anything of them at first, but so it mostly Turtles and Power Rangers that got me started into superheroes.
I'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes, all right?
Okay.
Okay.
Awkward.
Okay. Max, it was good seeing you. Anyway, Chris, so you heard from Paul, and guys, I want to give a heads up. This isn't just restricted to DC or Marvel or whatever, or that. As you'll see on Paulie's list later, it's not just about DC and Marvel. That's what I did, but it doesn't have to be that. So Chris, give me your thoughts. Give me where you were first introduced to superheroes. What made you love them so much?
I mean, when I was a little kid, I probably around the age of 4. I mean, I remember seeing Batman Returns when I was a little kid when it was on the old VHS format, and for part of my childhood.
What the fuck?
All right.
Okay.
Easy.
Anyway, so Batman.
Continue.
Oh
Man.
Oh God. All right. Anyway, Chris, Batman, go ahead.
Yeah. Batman has been for part of my childhood, reasonable part. Batman had been the superhero of my childhood until Superman came on. I didn't really get into Superman. I mean, well, I wanted to get into Superman, but yeah, I got into him. Especially when I was in my early teens watching the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. Remember loving them, especially the first 2 Superman films. Loving them as much. Loving the old
they're the best.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the best.
That's because they're the best.
Mm-hmm.
They're all right.
Mm-hmm. They're all right. They're better. They're better than most
Number
of those.
2 was really good. Number 1 was boring as hell.
No, number 1 was
Sorry,
better.
guys.
But number 1 was better than 2. But I was just
Zod was way better. Zod was awesome. Kneel before Zod. Awesome. It's good stuff.
Terrence Stamp, you
Great,
can't.
great movie.
Terrence Stamp, you can
Great
do
movie.
no wrong.
No,
Episode 1. Do we need to go over that? Star Wars Episode 1.
It wasn't really his fault. It was George Lucas. It was like blame George
Fair
Lucas.
enough.
Don't blame
Fair enough.
anyone but Lucas about the prequels. It was all Lucas' fault. Don't blame nobody. Han shot first. Anyway, continue, Chris, please.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, superheroes. Like, yeah, Superman, Batman. They were like kind of like my favorite. I wasn't really into the whole comic book thing, like in the whole superhero thing. But into my teens, I grew up. I mean, into my teens, I started getting into them a lot more, especially with the Spider-Man films, the X-Men films. You know, I mean, I just comic book films. I used to go to these things, when I was a teen. I still go to them, and it's like, I mean, they were my favorite movies to watch, and to go to the movies and see, I mean, Batman was really my introduction, but yeah, I've grown into the whole superhero craze, and love these characters. They're just like some like the most wonderful creations that man has ever brought to humanity. It's just like it's just like what's not to love about these characters,
Absolutely, man. Sounds good. So, Jack, I know you are a huge comic book guy. Like me, you're a huge comic book guy. So, give me your first experience. Was it through comics or no?
Yeah, mine was through comics. Mine was through the Spider-Man comics because I really identified with Peter because I was kind of bullied and didn't really fit in as a kid. So I kind of identified with that, and then he became a superhero and became popular. So that was cool, and he had girl trouble like everybody does at that age. So.
Oh yes, I still have girl trouble.
That's why Spider-Man is like so popular because it's so relatable, because any young teen can say, look what Peter Parker did, he's now a superhero, I mean, it's not realistic, which is why I identify with Batman more because he's human and he doesn't have any special powers, but so
I read a lot of the comics, and then I watched a lot of the cartoons, like the Spider-Man '90s show.
Oh, so
I had a lot of those on VHS. Like I would go to conventions, and they'd have people who would like tape them off the TV, and I would buy them. And I'd have like animated series stuff. I remember going to my grandpa's and watching The Mask of the Phantasm on DVD, and that was really good.
Great movie. So good.
And then, more recently, I guess, was, watching the Spider-Man movies, like, being awesome. Some not as good as others.
The first two were great. Then
we all
know it.
Yeah, but then, like, the more recent ones, like Iron Man, I remember, like, really enjoying that movie, and then, watching the extra credit scene when Fury was, like...
Oh.
When he was, like, the Avengers Initiative, I'm like, oh, my God, this is fucking amazing. I can't wait. Like, I was stoked.
I knew about that, I don't know it was let out, like, that Marvel was, like, doing a huge, like, universe, It was kind of like, oh, so we're making a movie about Iron Man. And then everyone sees that scene, it's like... No, they're not doing what we think we're doing, are they?
Yes, they did!
Yeah, because I was, like, before that time reading a lot of, like, the New Avengers comics, which was really good. By Bendis. And I loved the Batman, the animated series, and the Justice League cartoons, and Teen Titans.
The original, right? Not that shit.
Oh, God. Dude.
Oh, no, the original.
Okay, good.
Not that garbage
the original's good.
That's on TV now. So let's cancel Young Justice and have Teen Titans go on.
What the fuck was they thinking? Cancel Teen Titans Go and bring in Young Justice. Let's go.
I loved Young Justice.
So good. Okay. anyone that knows me, that knows anything about me, knows how much I love Batman. Batman was 1993 was a really big year in my life. I was 4 years old, and two things happened to me. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was launched that year, and I watched Batman '89 for the first time, and I was 4 years old. 4 years old. My dad thought it'd be a good idea to have me watch Batman. Hey, whatever. It was kind of a darker movie, but I really didn't know what was going on. But I just loved it. I saw this guy in this cape, and he just looked so badass. He looked so cool, and I was just like, God, I want to be that guy. And that's when I started being Batman for like for Halloween, and I started watching the show, even though like you probably, I didn't really understand it because it was very mature, even though it was an animated cartoon. Had very mature themes, like.
Well, I mean, that's the direction that DC would go. That they were making a show that was just as much for kids and adults. Like they didn't try to talk down to you. I mean, they took you seriously.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's just a great show. And I just like fell in love with there. And then from there, I fell in love with all the shows. Like the Spider-Man animated show, which I love. Which I wish we had a box set. That would be great. Box.
Get working on it. Whoever has it, get it out.
There's one in the UK, but we don't have one. Whatever.
Let's go in the US. I want one in the US now.
The X-Men, cartoon was fantastic. Yeah, and then we had started having the influx of all the movies, and it just, it just kind of a huge thing. I mean, but really, for me, it comes down to '89 Batman. The love and the nostalgia that I have for that movie is just it's just crazy, man. I just love that movie so much. And like Under the Red Hood, which is a fantastic animated Batman movie. If you guys haven't seen it, check that movie out. It's so freaking good. The story on that is off the charts. It's probably a better movie, probably, but the nostalgia that I have for '89 Batman just makes it higher on my list. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, as far as live action Batman movies, hands down, that one's the best.
Yeah.
I won't debate that.
I mean, like people argue Dark Knight, but not for me. I would choose
Dark Knight. Dark Knight all the way. Dark Knight.
But anyway, so yeah, I just and then we had the Nolan trilogy, which I loved.
You got two copies of it.
The Avengers movie. I mean, my God, you guys, my God.
Yeah,
and then recently, Arrow on TV just like I was late to the Arrow party too.
Same here.
When I first thought that, when I first saw the promo, I thought it was a Robin Hood show. I thought it was Robin Hood.
I was worried about Arrow at first.
And then someone's like, "Okay, that's about Green Arrow." I'm like, "What?" And I wasn't really a huge Green Arrow fan, and because of Arrow, he's high on my list now. I mean, he's basically a Bruce Wayne clone, but it's cool. It's just, and then like Flash, this year has been fantastic. So it's just all that good stuff. So many great stuff. So why don't we take a break for a second, Paulie? Why don't we all go through 10 through 6 on our list, Paulie, and then we'll talk a little more, and then we'll do our and then each of us will do our top 5, and then we'll do our villains afterwards. So
top 10 favorite superheroes, 10 through 6.
I'm gonna go with Paulie. Give me your 10 through 6, Paulie, for heroes.
All 5 of them. We're not gonna just straight through.
Oh, do you have 10 or 5, Paulie?
I got 10.
Yeah. I'm saying give me your 10 through 6, Paulie.
Oh, okay.
We'll each do 5 now, and then we will do 5 later. So.
All right.
We'll break up the list,
Okay. So number 10, I got Leonardo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's my favorite of all of them.
And guys, if you can kind of give a reason why they're on the list, like kind of go a little in depth, because these are your favorite heroes, probably that you grew up with, and I want to know. And probably our viewers want to know why are they favorite? Not just it's I have Green, number whatever is a Green Lantern. It's like why?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
All right, so number 10 was Leonardo, the leader of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just loved him so much growing up. He's always been my favorite, and every time I've seen him, he's just been the same guy. Even in the Michael Bay film, he wasn't all that bad.
No, he was good, and his armor probably looked badass.
Yes, I love that armor, but Leonardo. I've always liked leaders, so I was drawn to him instantly.
I really like the show that's on now.
I haven't seen it.
I'll take the '80s one.
I've never seen the '80s one.
What?
Neither have I.
What? Oh my God, Paul.
Excuse me for a moment while I scream.
The one that's on now is the only Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja show that I've ever seen.
Oh
the
my
newest
God,
one.
Yeah. You need
God.
to watch the '80s, man. It was
You gotta
on
watch
for 10
the
seasons
80s
of
show.
glory.
Yes.
10 seasons.
All right.
And you know what? Me and Paul each
10
own all 10
seasons
seasons.
of glory. Okay.
All right, Paul.
10.
Number 9.
All right. Number 9 is Billy Cranston, the blue Mighty Morphin Power Ranger.
Nice.
I love Power Rangers, and like Caleb, and Billy was just my favorite. He's a guy that I identified with, that I saw myself in, like the shy, nerdy, awkward kid who never really felt in, but he was talented in his own way, and watching him just grow up and develop and just grow from a boy to a man over the course of the 4 seasons that he was on the show. And I saw myself in Billy so much, and the way he matured, the way he grew up and came into his own. I remember these 2 moments in season 2 of Power Rangers that I remember watching what Billy was doing. There's no way that season 1 Billy would have done that. The first one is the episode where he constructs that device to monitor the Earth's magnetic field. Zed decided to take it from him, and he sends Goldar down to squad of putties to try and take it from him. And Billy opens a can of whoop-ass on all of them, single-handedly kicking their butt. No way season 1 Billy would have done that. And then the second one is the scene where Angel Grove is hosting the World Peace Conference for teens. And while Tommy and some of the guys are showing the others martial arts moves, Billy's flirting with that cute girl from Israel, is going, so tell me, are all the girls in your country as beautiful as you? I'm like, yeah, my man. But yeah, I see myself in Billy so much, and that's why he's my favorite. And when he left, it was such a sad moment for me. I hope he comes back one day.
And because of the circumstances, Paul, behind it.
That was bullshit. Yeah. He deserved better than that. He deserved better than that.
Absolutely.
The number 8 is Sonic the Hedgehog. Again, someone that I identify, the kind of attitude I want to have. It's like the carefree, cool factor attitude, but someone who's extremely loyal to his friends. He never gives up. That's a part of myself that I see myself in, and another part that I want to be like. I'm loyal to my friends. I don't give up, but I also want that cool attitude. Oh yeah, how you doing? Sonic was always cool to me.
And you want to run guy.
I want to run fast. That would be my number 1 superpower, just super speed. I want to run fast. All right. Number 7, Superman. I remember seeing Chris Reeves suit up for the first time. It was like, oh my God, that just blew me away in an instant. He was just so amazing. That bright red and blue cape, the theme song going just jacks you up. So obviously. And then number 6, I got the Flash.
Nice.
I loved him. I loved him in the Justice League cartoon. He was very cocky. I liked that. But hands down, Grant Gustin has just been amazing as the Flash. If it wasn't for that show, I don't think Flash would have been on my list. But because of that show, he's up there. So
yeah, it's a great show, dude. And it's getting better and better every
yes,
week.
It is. Yes,
now it's starting to pick up because we're getting less filler. Because we're getting all filler at the start of the season, which was aggravating the shit out of me.
Yeah. All right, so that's my 10 through 6.
Chris, you have a list, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so give me 10 through 6, man. And then give me a little bit of why they're on the list.
10 through 6. All right.
Yes, correct.
All right. Okay.
I want to each do 5, and then we'll talk about a little bit more, and then we'll do the other half, and then we'll do our villains.
All right. All right. For my top 10 superhero list. All right.
Sure.
At number 10, the X-Men. Why the X-Men? I think it has to deal with the fact, you know, just like I think it has to deal with the fact that they're outsiders and that they're trying to try to make a peaceful coexistence between the rest of their species and the rest of humanity. You know, I mean, of course, and not only that, they have some badass members, and it's like, of course, Cyclops used to be my favorite character, like, you know, and then
yes.
It's like the carefree attitude, just like the kind of badass anti-hero persona. It's like he just like I kind of figure him as the anti-Superman because he doesn't really give a shit. I mean, he doesn't. He's not like a Boy Scout like Superman is. It's like much as I love Superman, but like he's sort of like, you know, he's sort of like the antithesis of like something like what you just expect a superhero to be, like Captain America or Superman. It's just like not the kind of clear cut, clean jaw kind of personality, you know. And not only that, I mean, of course, when I saw the Bryan Singer X-Men, I was blown away by it. Just like how he crafted the whole thing, the vision he brought into it, you know, and how he depicted his depiction of that world. I mean, those were like some of my favorite superhero movies when I was growing up. And those three, especially, and X2. What's there to say about X2, man? It's just like
it's so good.
Yeah, it was great.
It's so good. It was awesome.
Nightcrawler and Post Colossus.
Yeah. Alan Cummings, man, come back. You know.
Yes, please. They should bring him back in Apocalypse. And it's just like no.
Well, Nightcrawler is going to be in Apocalypse.
Oh, right.
He's
He's
being played by someone else though.
Yeah. And
all right, Chris, so number 9.
Yeah, number 9. Number 9 would have to be Thor. You know.
Thor. Okay.
Yes. Right. Okay. Why I like this character? It's just like I think it's the presence he brings to it, and I think he brings to the presence he kind of carries. You know, of course, he's based off the Norse mythology characters. It's like everything is so cool about him. Of course, that hammer. You know, the fact he's basically like the Superman of Marvel. You know, he can fly. He's invulnerable. He has superhuman stamina, strength, you know, everything like that. You know, and it's just, I mean, I'm not like a overall big fan of him, but I am kind of impressed of, you know, how they crafted this. I mean, how Stan Lee kind of crafted this character, you know. But the Chris Hemsworth films, like, made me a bigger fan, maybe even bigger fan of the character. And what Chris Hemsworth brought to the world was absolutely fantastic. You know, kind of remind me how, you know, Christopher Reeve, you know, started out when he played Superman in the original Superman movies in the late 70s, early 80s. And number
number 8, yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say number 8. Number 8 would have to be. I'm sorry, I'm trying. It would have to be Number 8 would have to be the Incredible Hulk.
Okay, Incredible Hulk. Okay.
Number 8, Incredible Hulk. Why? I think it's just the concept of the character. It's just like, you know, it's just a matter of fact that this. It's just like this character, which has like an unmitigated, like sort of like it's just like just unlimited anger. It's just like unlimited anger. It's just like what I was really impressed by is the duality of the characters. It's kind of like a Jekyll Hyde kind of thing, you know. And I'll tell you this: I wasn't really a big fan of the TV series in the '80s. I felt it was okay, but it wasn't like the best thing in the world. It has some good elements to it. It has some good elements to it, but it wasn't something I would consider fantastic. It was okay, but the only part about it I liked was Lou Ferrigno. You know.
Oh, Lou Ferrigno, classic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, of course.
Number 7?
Oh yeah, number 7. Number 7, Iron Man. Not somebody I was a really big fan of. even before like the 2007 movie came out, but when it came out, I was like a huge Iron Man fan from the get-go. Why? Because like he's suave. I mean, he gets all the ladies. He always gets all his. I mean, he always gets his girl. He has the intellect to match it. The wit and it's like kind of like how based off like how Howard Hughes was, But what Robert Downey Jr. brought to the role with that self-deprecating wit was absolutely fantastic. Just how John
Favreau.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he brought that character from like a C-list character to an A-list character.
Yes, absolutely.
He transformed Iron Man. I mean, because everyone knew who Iron Man was. Like, yeah, cool. A lot of people forget that he had a show in the 90s as well. Kind of forgettable, though.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I own it, but I'm just a weirdo. But when Robert Downey just took that character and he transformed, I mean, he is Tony Stark. He is Tony, literally, he is Tony Stark. I mean, it's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yes. So, Iron Man number 7 and number 6, Chris?
Yeah, number 6. Number 6 would have to be The Flash.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a huge Flash fan. Like why the super speed, just overall personality to it, and it's just like the overall personality, that the character has. I love that. I mean, I'm not a big fan, but I used to watch the '90s TV show back in. And I wasn't really impressed with some elements about it. I mean, I did like the overall kind of grittier tone to it. It's probably because they were coming off like Batman in the late '80s. How they brought back darker, grittier superheroes to it. But I think it's kind of the snarkiness, the attitude that the Flash has is what makes him like one of my favorites. I fell in love with this character. It's just like and I loved it as a. And I loved them as a kid, but this show that they have on now, wow! It's surprising how they maintained a consistent level of quality, and not only that, the faithfulness to the character. That's what I was really impressed with. And Grant Gustin Grant Gustin he's a natural fit for this role. I mean, that was perfect casting when they brought him in.
Okay. All right, so that was yours, Chris. Okay, so Jack, give me 10 through 6.
My number 10 is Robin Tim Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Robin Tim Drake, okay.
Who is my second favorite Robin. My first one is the original, Dick Grayson.
Oh, of course. I mean
but the thing that's really cool about Tim Drake was that he wasn't as good as a fighter as the other, so he picked a weapon, the bow staff, and he's also more closer to Batman because he's like a detective. And I really liked him, and I really got to really like him during the when they presumed Batman was dead, and he was like the only one who said no, he's not dead, and he went around the world, even doing some things like working with Ra's al Ghul to track him down, which I thought was really cool.
Okay, cool.
My number 9 is Wolverine. I mean, he's just a badass. I mean, those claws are awesome. And he pretty much can't die.
No. He's like Deadpool in that regard. You really can't kill him.
And then I kind of liked how he's like with the X-Men, and I kind of like the relationship he has with like Rogue and Jubilee and Kitty. Kind of like a father figure, especially with Kitty in the comics. Which was really, and I liked him, the whole, Scott Jean thing.
A love triangle type of thing.
Yeah.
And that was always a turn off for me in the film. It's like I'm so sick about this.
It wasn't really
because they relegated Cyclops and they boosted up Wolverine, which again he's your most popular character, but Cyclops is just as important, if not more important than Wolverine. He's the leader of the X-Men. I mean, hello, Oh, sorry, he's the field commander of the X-Men because Professor X is the leader. I mean, like, come on. I hope they fix that. I really do. It's gonna make me so mad because I love Cyclops so much more than Wolverine because he's so much more than Wolverine. But anyway, Jack, sorry. Go ahead.
My number eight is Miss Marvel.
Really? Okay.
The original Carol Danvers, not this new one. I really got to know her during a lot of the recent Avengers and New Avengers things, and I kind of liked her relationship with Spider-Man. I kind of wish they would have gone more into that. It's the only thing that I wanted to see more of. They hinted it, but they never went fully into it. I mean, they went on a couple of dates, but nothing really. And I wanted that. And she was pretty badass, and she's powerful. Number 7 is Captain America. I mean, he's Captain America. I mean, he's really cool, and I really he's so patriotic, and he even likes Spider-Man. And so I love that when he's I fought beside you, I've been amazed, you're a great hero. And I loved him in the Avengers stuff, the New Avengers. And it was pretty awesome of him. I was on his side the whole time during Civil War. That was pretty cool to just stand up to everybody and be like, no, this is wrong. I'm going to create my own team. I'm going underground. And then, how big of him it was at the end, just see all the damage and just kind of surrender.
All right. Number 6?
Cool.
And my number 6 is Batgirl Barbara Gordon, a.k.a. Oracle.
Okay.
She was always my favorite Batgirl. I loved her a lot. Her relationship with Dick Grayson. I mean, they need to be together. It needs to happen. Finally, they're getting married. And it was cool that she was a female Batman kind of thing. And I really liked her a lot more as Oracle, because it showed that people with disabilities can really help. And I liked how she was helping, not only the Bat family, but the Justice League and pretty much everyone in the DC universe would pretty much go to her, which I thought was really cool. So this is why. So I was kind of against the New 52 when they said when they brought her back as Batgirl.
All right, here we go. Okay, thank you, Jack. Good stuff. Okay, so my 10 through 6 now. I like unlike Paulie, who had some great choices out of the way. This was not restricted to just Marvel and DC. He had good choices. I only did that, but that's just me. So number 10, I know, Paulie, that he would be extremely high on your list. I know you don't consider him a hero, but there are incarnations of him being a hero, though he does kill the Marvel Universe in other incarnations. And I'm, of course, talking about Deadpool. I love Deadpool. Who doesn't love Deadpool? I mean, he's one of the best, most written characters. He's one of the most just funny characters. If you ever played the video game, it's hysterical.
It is.
Just a great character, guys. I mean, what they did to him in the only movie that he's been in so far, though he has his own movie coming out soon, was a travesty. If a character is called the Merc with the Mouth, you really shouldn't sew his mouth shut. It's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, so I love Deadpool. I love that character. I'm excited to, I'm excited for that movie and hope they can. What's what we're looking for? Probably
redeem Deadpool.
Yes, redeem Deadpool. So, number 9 on my list. I was just talking about him. Everyone, listen, I'm a huge fan of the X-Men, just like everyone here. I was never a big Wolverine guy. I was more like you, Paul. I like leaders. I like Cyclops. He was always my favorite. I always loved his power, having optic blast comes out of his eyes. I mean, that was awesome. And he's the leader of the X-Men. He's the field commander. When you're in the field, you better listen to Cyclops because he's the man in charge. I always loved that about him. And I always loved how he was a strong character in the comics, in the cartoon. He wasn't a weak little bitch that they made him in the movies. That wasn't Cyclops. Anyone who thought that was him, that wasn't him. No way.
I hate how they portrayed him in those.
That wasn't his character. I'm sorry, James Marsden. You played him terribly. Bryan Singer, you gave him horrible direction on him. That was the one thing I hated about.
I wouldn't really blame James Marsden. I would blame Bryan Singer and the direction they kind of made him.
Like they just made him such a whiny little bitch, you know, and like a jealous little bitch. You like my gene? Oh my god, you know, like shut the fuck up, guy. You Cyclops, like go kick his ass. I don't know. Like if you guys have ever seen Wolverine and the X-Men, it's like Wolverine in Cyclops' spot, and they made Cyclops such a badass, and it was awesome. He beats the shit out of Wolverine at one point. It's so good. So yeah, Cyclops. I hope he gets redeemed as well. In the new movie coming out next year. All right, number 8. Now this is just out of respect. Is Superman? It's out of respect. It's out of legacy. Superman is the original, you know, superhero. You know, he's the original, you know, 1939, 1938.
He's not even on my list.
Huh?
He's not even on my list.
What?
Yeah, I just did it out of respect, out of you know, out of legacy. You know, I mean, he is the original. He's a good character. I just think he's way overpowered, and
yeah.
I've never been a huge fan, but again, out of respect, he had to be on the list.
Well, he wasn't really all that overpowered in the animated series.
He's overpowered, Paul. I mean,
I love the animated.
He's overpowered.
I own it.
Number 7. I can almost guarantee that this one is on your list, Jack, because I'm a huge fan of this character as well, and that would be Dick Grayson as Nightwing. My God, we need a live-action version of Nightwing, you guys.
We're getting one.
That little short that we had on YouTube was good.
Yeah.
No, Paul, I'm saying in the movies. Yeah, we're getting Titans. But I want one, you know, in the movies. I would love to see him in Batman vs Superman. Not Robin. Give us Nightwing, because it's gonna be an older Batman. It should be Nightwing. But anyway, yeah. I'm a huge fan of this character. I'm a huge fan of Dick Grayson, obviously. But you gotta have Nightwing. He's so badass, and like, come on, you know, like we need it. It hasn't happened yet. No more Robin. I'm sorry. I love the Robin character, but come on. And then number 6 is a Justice League regular. It's a Green Lantern, not that shitty Green Lantern movie that we got in that garbage pile movie that shouldn't even shouldn't even have the Green Lantern name on it.
He's talking about John Stewart.
What are you guys talking about?
Superheroes. Anyway, so yeah, not that one.
Yeah, but
the original Green Lantern. You know, I grew up with John Stewart in the animated cartoon. Great cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Great character. I would love to see him in the new Green Lantern instead of Hal Jordan. I'm sorry, we don't need Hal Jordan. Thanks though.
Well, we might be getting him. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, Hal Jordan all the way.
I'd want like a Kyle Rayner or someone over Hal Jordan. We already had Hal Jordan, and they just done fucked him up. So that movie is just a giant pile of garbage. So anyone who like I saw that, please don't be influenced by that. That movie was total just garbage, awful. So yeah, Green Lantern was number 6, my favorite superheroes. So real quick, Max, how you doing? What's going on about it? Good. So Max, you know, we're talking about superheroes. So since you're coming now, give me how you got exposed to them, why you love them so much. You know, your first experience with them.
How I got exposed to them? Marvel.
Right?
Marvel's in that universe.
I mean, because like you were born in like 06, right? So I mean, you know.
Yeah, but it was more for me like Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like that was superheroes. Well, I watched Superman 3 when I was like a little kid.
I'm
boy.
sorry.
You poor boy. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm
sorry?
Wait. I watched like Superman 3 100 times because when I was a kid, I loved that movie to death.
Fair enough.
How about now?
And now I bash the DVD.
There you go.
That was so terrible.
God, that movie's bad. Yeah, but like I'm trying to forget that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's more like Marvel that got me into all those superhero stuff and all that stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Doesn't matter what DC's doing. They're screwing up the shared universe. And
Oh, here we go.
I just okay.
And the DC bashing starts early.
I was gonna say DC's bashing starts early.
The
Like-
DC bashing
like-
starts early.
A good okay. We have the Marvel Cinematic Universe, DC Cinematic Universe, but we're also gonna have a Ghostbusters Cinematic Universe.
Oh my God, that's such a joke.
Why?
Not
Why,
every
Dan
movie
Aykroyd?
needs to be a
Why?
cinematic universe. Marvel is the only one.
God.
I mean, like, I
Marvel.
want one for DC. I mean, but Ghostbusters? Are we serious?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Anyway, let's not get off track here.
DC
Mac,
should
do you
DC
have
should connect the movies with the television shows like
yeah,
Yes.
Paulie would love
yeah,
that.
that would do it with Shield and Carter. They connected.
Yes.
We're not talking about shitty TV shows on here.
Oh,
Okay.
Caleb, shut the Disney Vault.
You need to watch Shield right
Agent Carter was awesome. I hope they bring
was.
it back for season 2.
Yeah, but
You
was it
say
better than Flash or
awesome.
Arrow? I didn't think so. It was not better than Flash or
No.
Arrow.
Close.
Hey, you should watch Shield and right now, and see the progression. It's a really good
Yeah.
show.
Right now, it's on par with Flash and Arrow.
And
Yes, it
Carter,
is.
On par.
Yes.
wait,
Yes.
Agent Carter is such a great show. The end tag, you can call it a post-credit scene, just ties in with Marvel.
Absolutely.
Too.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that post-credit scene. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that show deserves season 2. I want to create a Carter season 2.
Absolutely does.
Okay. Anyway, anywho, okay. Max, do you we were doing our discussion, and we were also doing our top 10 list. Now, do you have a list, Max, by any chance?
And
he's muted. He'll be back. He's gone. Be back. Okay. Anyway, whatever. So now, okay, man. Okay. He'll be back. He will return one day. So okay, guys. Any surprises here? Are we surprised by anyone's list? Are we, is there anything that you guys want to comment on? Maybe, and anything at all?
No.
No.
What
I'm
do you
sensing
mean?
a lot of blue, Paul, in your list. You got
Yeah.
Leonardo who's blue.
Ranger.
You got Billy Cranston, the Blue
Sonic the
Ranger.
Hedgehog. I mean, Lord.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. Oh, jeez, Paul. I'm sensing a lot of blue over there. Are you feeling blue today?
No. I just always blue is just I just like the color blue. Blue's always been one of my favorite colors.
Fair enough. So, Paul, I want to get everyone's thoughts on this. Now, I want to know why everyone thinks like superheroes are so popular. Why do we connect with them so much? And like not just Spider-Man, not just Batman, but as a whole, like superheroes as a whole, like the movies, the comic books, the TV shows. Why do we connect with them so much? Why are they so popular? So, Paulie, I'm gonna start with you, but go ahead.
Well, I think a big reason that we connect so much to superheroes is because they serve as like role models for us to look up to, like people that we aspire to be like. Like I remember, and I'm gonna go Power Rangers on y'all again. I remember being 7 years old watching. At the end of like all the Power Ranger Turbo episodes, there would always be like an anti-drug statement where you'd see like this kid saying no to drugs, and you would see the Rangers popping up there telling them good job, and looking at it saying you have the power, dare to say no to drugs. It's like, yes, I will say no to drugs because you told me to. I remember all those anti-drug commercials. Like, so I think that's why they serve as like role models. Like, who do you want to aspire to be like? I want to aspire to be like Batman or Superman, a symbol of good, a symbol of everything that the human race can aspire to be if we have the courage to make the right steps. We can be as good as they are. So I think that's why they're role models. They're people for us to look up to aspire to be like, to live our lives like.
Okay,
So
cool.
I think that's what it is.
All right, Chris, any thoughts on this, man?
I think we believe Paulie could be correct on this. I think superheroes are popular, because they are role models. They are figures that we can look up to You know, they have, you know, traits that we can aspire to possess. You know, I mean, I think they're also a form of escapism to other worlds, to other things. I mean, to other places. I mean, to sending off on journeys that none of us can ever, you know, ever imagine on our own. They are a popular part of the imagination. You know, look, what would happen if we had possessed the abilities to fly? You know, the ability to run at speed run at speeds that no one could have imagined. You know, to lift cars and stuff like that, have to possess this incredible strength. You know, I mean, what would we do if we had these abilities? You know, it's just like they're a form of they also I think believe are figures of hope. You know,
Yes.
they're like, you know, they're like, I kind of like believe these kind of characters are, you know, redeemed for. I mean, I believe that with characters like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, like they're kind of our redeemers, that we will be redeemed from figures, you know, that are you know, more capable than us, and also they are noble, virtuous, courageous, you know. Like I said, character traits that we all wish to possess. We can aspire to be. It's like what, you know, but we have a hard time, you know, finding the way. It's like what Jor-El said in the original Superman. It's like, you know, to when he's about to take on going back to when he's about to rejoin the world. He's like, they can be a great people, Kal-El. They wish to be. They only lack the light to show the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why. I think that's why. It's not only they are role models. You know, they take us on trips. You know, they take us on extraordinary journeys that, I mean, you know, that are beyond our imagination. I think that's, you know, and also that those worlds that they inhabit are fully realized, you know. I mean, the worlds very much like our own, but yet there are alternate versions, you know, compared to the reality we are living in right now. Like I said, they're not only great, you know, forms of escapism, you know, they're like figures of hope, and they're also part of our modern mythology. You know, like how Hercules is, and Thor, and Perseus, and Theseus. You know, they're the modern tales. You know, you can tell to your children. Like the inspiring tales. You know, the inspiring tales.
Awesome. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, where you can learn your values from. You know? I know I'm ranting, but you know,
no, man. It's not ranting. You're just you know, because you know, you're just giving your opinion, man. It's great stuff. Yeah. Jack, your thoughts on this, man?
Well, they're a great escapism, and they're, you know, a great adventure of what we could do. And then a lot of the early comics were about what we wish would happen, like Captain America punching Hitler in the face. A lot of them dealt with war and a lot of that stuff. And then a lot of like the great Stan Lee ones, like Daredevil, like him being blind but having a power, helping people with disabilities. I think that's cool. Like I said before about Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
And then
You're excited for the Daredevil Netflix series?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
oh my God, that trailer!
So
So good.
So good. Ready to go. Let's do this. I can't wait.
And if you guys want to geek out even more, I think there's a hand ninja in the trailer.
So
I especially like that Iron Man reference, you know, and the Thor reference in the trailer. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then like a lot of the things Stanley did was really cool. Like when he went against the Comics Authority Code back in the day.
I remember hearing about that. That took some serious balls, but it's a good thing he did it.
And the publisher was okay with it. Yeah, because they weren't allowed to do with drugs or anything, and he was like, "No, we're going to talk about drugs."
I was gonna mention that. Like, people don't realize that like comics and like superheroes have touched on some touchy subjects.
Yeah.
Like there's one issue of Green Arrow where Red Arrow has a giant drug addiction problem. He almost dies in the comics you know, like because of it, and they go like full blown, all that, and like they touch on it, and it's a way to express things to kids, to people, to show them like, some things aren't good, but show them in a different way. Because if you just like go to a kid and say drugs are bad, okay, that's not probably gonna do much. But if you can show it in a way that you know they want to read and it's interesting to them, then it'll get the message across probably even better. And like I agree with all you guys, escapism, you know, role models. I mean, all that stuff is all in play. Just because you know, superheroes are those things like something that you can aspire to be. You know, like who here like wasn't a little kid and wanted to put on a Batman costume and go beat up criminals? I think everybody here did. You know,
not me.
I wanted to put on a Power Ranger.
Not the DC hater, but you know, not the DC hater. Everyone else.
Yo, you want to film a little clip for me in my room? Yo, alright.
I wanted to put on a Power Ranger costume and beat up crime. That's what I wanted.
Well, yeah.
I wanted to put up a Superman costume.
Yeah, so you know, but I'm saying, yeah, like everyone wanted to do something and just like beat up, you know, and just like wanted to do that, wanted to make a difference, you know. Like if I could do that, then I could make a difference, you know. Yeah. And it's just like that kind of stuff that just really makes me feel great about superheroes. So.
And then like I remember, it wasn't recently, but it was kind of recently. It was the 2000s run of Spider-Man. Of the Amazing Spider-Man, where they dealt with gun violence in the schools, about this kid who went in and was shooting up, and Spidey stopped him, and Spidey unmasked him and was horrified to learn that it was just a kid at the school who was bullied a lot and couldn't take it anymore and kind of snapped.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Max, welcome back. Are you here, my friend?
Yeah, now I'll be here probably until the show. You know,
okay, so
I really want to go to Iceland in 2 years.
Iceland, you want to go to Iceland? Okay, good to know.
Actually, Iceland's very green. Believe it or not, it's Greenland that's covered in ice and snow.
That's crazy. Yes, it's crazy. So, Max, do you have a list of your top 10 favorite superheroes? You know. It's kind of like a sidebar for today. I mean, we are having discussions, but it's kind of a side thing that we're also doing. It's all things superheroes today.
I might give I don't have like a top 10, but my favorite superhero, like I'm gonna say the one I wanted to be when I was little was Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But now is like all Avengers.
All Marvel because
all
DC
everything
sucks.
Marvel. I don't care.
I know.
Because like Marvel's is the best. Who cares about DC? DC sucks. Except Batman, Superman.
Oh, the relentless passion continues.
Even though Superman could beat the whole Avengers by himself, you know, it's fine.
Yeah, but it's not the Superman I grew up to.
True. No, it's not. It's not. Okay, listen. I'm sorry. Everyone. The original Superman movie from 1978 is so overrated. It's so overrated. I'm sorry, you guys. It's boring as shit.
No, it's not.
No, it isn't.
It was a masterpiece.
So boring. Superman 2 is 1,000 times. 1,000 times.
It is the best Marvel works.
I will argue with anybody. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. You guys get mad at me. That's fine. But I'm sorry. It's boring as shit.
It's the fucking standard.
It's important. It's important, though. It is an important movie because if we didn't get that movie, then we wouldn't have got a lot of the other movies. It's important. It's not. I'm not saying it's not important, but guys, it's boring as shit.
No, it's not boring.
It's actually interesting. It actually tells us. It actually has.
The best one is the second one, the Richard Donner cut.
Yes, so good. That
I like the Richard Donner version, not so much the Richard Lester version.
The Lester cut's still better than the original. But it's not as good as the Donner cut. The Donner cut is fantastic. It's so good. But anyway, no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
We have to stop arguing, okay? We all know that Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, is the best one.
Oh, absolutely. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can I say something about superhero movies?
What's up?
Something that studios need to do is actually pay attention to some of the things from the comics and, learn from them. Like in Superman Returns, His weakness is kryptonite. That will kill him, yet we see him flying a giant meteor of it into space. What? I mean, what?
It's just a movie.
It's just a movie.
It's just a movie.
Oh
That is a big plot hole.
It's a movie. Who cares?
Dude,
They show him getting
that's like,
whipped around kryptonite in the movie, and then all of a sudden, I'm gonna fly a giant meteor of it into space. And
well, that's just like Superman 4. Why do we have Nuclear Man? Just
Why
why
is there only $100 devoted to special
Dolph
effects?
Lundgren with an afro with like a mohawk, like what?
It's
I just
Fabio,
don't
okay?
I just don't
and then
understand.
and then Fox. Okay, so you're gonna do Deadpool, and you show his mouth shut, or like, what are you doing? What?
Okay, wait. We're forgetting about this movie. We're having another movie. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
We are having
No,
another
I know, but we're
Having
talking
another
about.
film, and it's going to redeem
I'm
it.
talking about what studios need to learn from. Also, Catwoman. That's not Catwoman. Don't.
Wait, yeah. It's Patience Phillips.
Not Selena Kyle. Selena Kyle.
Don't name your movie something just if it's not going to be that movie, just so you can get some money. Because you're just going to piss everybody off.
Shut up, man. Trying to make some money. So they can.
And we don't want our villain to be a giant cloud.
Oh, you had to go there. You had to.
We've seen that twice. We've seen that in Fantastic Four, and we've seen it in Green Lantern. No, we don't want a giant poo cloud.
It just, and the reason that it's so egregious in the Rise of the Silver Surfer, that was Galactus. Arguably, Galactus is the big bad of the Marvel Universe. He is the biggest bad that there is. He eats fucking planets, okay? So you're gonna make him a giant cloud. I just don't understand. Okay, I'm not here to bash anything today, but you had to bring it up. And then Green Lantern, you need to go there. You need to.
Oh my god! Why did they make Parallax a Guardian? What the fuck?
Why?
It wasn't a Guardian originally.
I'm surprised. I can't believe Warner Brothers didn't learn from Fantastic Four. They're like,
what do you mean Warner Brothers?
The villain of the movie. I mean, come on.
Warner Brothers didn't learn from Fox because Fox had Galactus as a cloud, which obviously didn't work, and Warner Brothers decided, let's make our giant villain a cloud.
Oh my god.
Maybe they thought they could do it better. I don't know.
I don't really have much to do Fantastic Four anyway, so I'm not.
Does anyone have any faith in the new Fantastic Four movie?
Yes.
No.
I don't really have a lot of faith in it.
I do.
I have no faith in it.
It's the best movie ever. Shut up, Jack.
I hope it's good.
Better than Sex Station.
Zero.
Oh my
I have more faith in Batman versus Superman, and I'm kind of worried about that. I am more confident in Suicide Squad. I
got more faith in Star Trek 3 than Fantastic Four.
Okay.
I have more faith in Force Awakens than Fantastic Four.
I'm going to say this, and everyone's going to disagree with me. I'm going to enjoy Batman vs. Superman more than Avengers Age of Ultron.
No.
There it is.
No.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
I'm with Caleb. I probably will enjoy Batman v Superman more than
Chris. That a boy.
Yes, because this is like historic. This is like the coming together of two pop culture icons.
I've already seen it.
And then Zack may have a good chance of fucking it up.
I've been waiting 20 years.
There are too many superheroes in this film.
Same screen. I've been waiting over 20 years for this. I've already saw the Avengers. That was 3 years ago. That's great. Batman and Superman are bigger than the whole Avengers put together. Y'all know it. You all know this. Stop it, please. Please.
You know what really annoys me though?
Everybody knows that.
You know what really
annoys me? Somehow. I just know he will.
You know what really annoys me though? When people are complaining, when they're like, "Oh, there's too many characters in the Batman Superman movie."
You know how many characters there was in Avengers?
There's a difference. There is a difference though, which I'm gonna say. And then people will complain about the Avengers. The difference is the Avengers is a team, so there's supposed to be a bunch of them. Batman versus Superman is supposed to be Batman versus Superman instead of Justice League the prequel.
Well, it is a prequel to Justice League. It's called Dawn of Justice, okay, people?
It's like Dawn of Justice.
Hello.
They
Yeah,
just
but-
call it Dawn of Justice.
My thing is, well, because it's a Justice League prequel. It is. Listen, I get it. Okay, but the Avengers, if you guys look at it, take away the nostalgia, take away all the,
I
everything.
have no nostalgia
Listen,
for it.
I love the movie. Okay, I love it. It's my favorite movie of all time. Is it a great movie though? I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know.
Yes.
The story is
Yes,
kind of
it
lacking.
is. Look,
Oh, wait.
we already
Why
talked
is it your
about
favorite?
this.
Wait. Why is it your favorite movie of all time if you think you don't know if it's
Listen,
great or-
because I have so much nostalgia. I've wanted to see an Avengers movie for a long time, man. But I guarantee you, if Batman vs Superman is as good as it, then it will blow it out of the water. Because Batman is so much higher for me than the Avengers. But the Avengers movie, when I first saw it, it was
Hey,
like a phenomenon,
don't too much. It may not always come out right.
So
No, but you know what's gonna be awesome? Infinity War when Spider-Man shows up with the Avengers.
Yeah, but remember what a genius always said? Don't plan too much. It may not always come out right.
well, Civil War though is gonna be huge. Spider-Man's
Number
gonna
one.
show up in that first.
Number one.
We'll have to see that. That's right. So no,
I think we're gonna see Spider-Man before Civil War.
You think
Oh,
okay.
no.
Actually, you
know.
know what? I know that we're veering off course, and that's fine. You know what? Because this is something I want to talk about. I want everyone to pitch me something right now. Everyone, give me your pitch. What is the end credit scene for Avengers: Age of Ultron?
Oh,
Thor.
I got one.
Hold on. Everyone, just relax. Everyone, just relax.
Wait,
We're
I
gonna
got
go
one.
in order, and I want everyone to pitch me.
Wait, I
All
got
right.
one.
Paulie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hold on, Max. Hold on. I'm gonna go right down the line. So, Paulie, pitch me the end credit scene that you want to see at the end of Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Well, okay, maybe one thing I would like to see is maybe like in the wake of because you have a feeling the Avengers are going to just defeat Ultron at the end of this film. Maybe they leave New York after that battle, and in the midst of cleaning up, the police are too busy to handle a gang of roving thieves who are like running down the street. So you see Logan Lerman standing on a roof saying, maybe I can help out, and he puts on the Spider-Man mask and starts swinging away. Maybe that's a good way to introduce the new Spider-Man.
I love it. I love
Okay.
it. Logan Lerman. I'm sold for Logan Lerman.
So let me go down the line. I'm gonna go down the line. That's on my thing here. So, Max, let me hear let me hear your scene.
Okay, so we're in New York, right?
Yep.
See a man walking. You don't know the man yet, okay? He has nice shoes, nice tux. You only see his back. You don't know who he is. He gets a call on a cell phone. You don't know who he's talking to. You don't know who he is. He turns around. It's Agent Coulson. Then, he sees Spider-Man flying like that, going somewhere. And then he says, "Sir, we found him." And then it ends. Like
No.
in Iron Man.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
It's just because
Jack.
it's just because Nick Fury isn't the director of Shield anymore, and he passed the torch to Coulson. That's
No, but I don't want them copying the same thing.
But it can be. I don't know, man.
Okay. All right. So that was Max's idea. No problem. All right, Jack. Give me your pitch.
Well, I think can I do two because I have two different ones.
Sure.
I think one of them is going to be Tony and Captain America. They're going to show them in different parts, like getting their teams ready for Civil War, and they're going to go look through lists of heroes, and both Spidey's going to show off on both of them, like a picture of Spidey. And then I think another one is going to be I think we're going to see Spider-Man, Miss Marvel, Doctor Strange. I think we're going to see them, like with Cap maybe or Iron Man, getting ready for Civil War and showing people, these are the new Avengers that were coming. I don't think it's going to be Captain Marvel yet. I think we're going to do an origin for her, but I think maybe it'll just be Carol Danvers, and she'll be like a military person or in the Air Force, like the comics. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you can introduce Spidey, Doctor Strange, and a lot of them.
You can introduce
cool.
a lot of people.
All right, Chris, go ahead, but give me your pitch if you
I got two of
can think
these.
of one. Okay, go ahead.
One is like, it's like it may be happening. It may be a possibility. Of course, the Avengers defeat Ultron. Maybe probably on some distant moon or something like that. There's a disciple of there's somebody who's a similar species to what the other was in the first Avengers. The other who was speaking with Loki. There might be a disciple of Thanos. And they may be talking to him. They're trying to find Loki, trying to seek retribution for his failure in trying to conquer Earth after the first Avengers. The second one is like probably some bank robbers trying to rob like a New York City bank or something like that, and the police are overpowered, and all of a sudden two red boosts come up on the police car, and then it's him. It's Spidey, and he's kicking
It's
something.
It's him.
Shooting webs and all that stuff, man.
Okay.
Kicking ass,
Okay.
That's my.
Okay. I have two.
Cool.
Like everyone else, I have two.
That may.
One that I think is way likely, and one that, oh my god, that I'm kind of stealing from somebody, but I think it's a great idea. So the one that I think is likely is we're going to get something involving Thor, Loki, and Heimdall.
It's disconnecting the whole time.
Like setting up Ragnarok. The one I'd love to see, guys. Okay, so we pan out and we go into this office, and then all of a sudden you see someone throw a paper down, and then you hear in the great words of J.K. Simmons, they're all a menace. Hey Parker, get in here, and then it ends.
I would love that.
That would be
How
awesome.
awesome would that be?
I want JK back. You know what's kind of annoying me?
That
Some,
would be awesome.
you know,
And then,
some
if
people
they
are.
wanted to be ballsy, they could show the actor, like walking in and then cut it. But they could just leave it as a mystery because we don't know. I just think that would be so awesome because again, this isn't an origin story for Peter Parker, so he can already be at there.
The Daily Bugle. He can already have
He can
his
already be
power.
at the Bugle. He doesn't need an origin story. He doesn't
No.
need all that.
And I'm
So,
hearing they're
I
not
just
going to do one.
And I would love for them to recast, J.K. Simmons, because he was great as the great, amazing character, J. Jonah Jameson.
As J.J.
And now it's been 2 reboots, so they can do it.
in the
Yes.
Spider-Man 2 when Peter Parker receives that email and it says wrong. When I read that email, I thought it was J.K. Simmons' voice saying wrong.
You know what I'm not liking though? A lot of people are saying, what would be a great way to introduce Spider-Man? Have him pull off his mask in Civil War.
Yeah, you know what? I would love to see that happen. I think that would be really cool.
It's
but
not gonna happen,
that's
though.
still, it's not going to happen. There's no way they can keep it secret for that long.
No
That's
way.
why I think
Not
in
this
day and
age, there's no
I
way.
have,
but-
Ultron, that would be more likely.
I have 2 reasons why I don't think it's going to happen. I
I
have
think they're
two
going to
things.
introduce him to Avengers because
But I have 2 reasons why I don't think they're going to do that. One, it will be impossible to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
Unless you, put a bag over his head, like the actor's head
then they'll
everywhere.
figure it out.
Yeah, I know. You can't do it in this day and age, but also, it won't have, the relevance that it did in the comics because in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, nobody really has a secret identity.
No.
Yeah.
It's more about, who is
Government control.
right, who's reporting to the government or not,
Yeah.
Who's in
And
control.
I actually have a theory about what might start up Civil War. If you guys want to hear.
It's a superhero registration act, isn't it?
Ultron.
No, I don't think we're gonna get that, but I
All right,
have an idea of something that could happen.
Jack, go ahead.
I think the Avengers are going to find out that Agent Coulson is alive, and they're all going to be pissed.
he's a director.
Especially of Captain America, and they're going to be upset at Fury and Shield and the government for, basically lying to them, putting them together. So I think that's going to put some stress on the team. Should we stay together because we're together based on a lie? And I think they're going to be mad that it was hidden that he's doing all that. So I think that's some stuff for Civil War, why they don't want to work for the government.
Well, I just think that it's going to be basically, because Tony creates Ultron. All of us know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there was even that scene. Do you guys remember when they were chopping wood?
Yes, I saw that.
And Tony's like, well, we're so, we kind of have to have some restraints on us. Gotta kind of pull us back. And then Cap's like, I'm not reporting to anybody. Like, no one's my boss. So I kind of feel like that's gonna be like Iron Man's gonna say, hey, we should report to the government. We should work with them. And then Cap's gonna say,
no,
fuck all y'all. I'm doing what I want to do. So I kind of feel like.
I mean, look what happened to Shield in Winter Soldier. They were half Hydra. So.
What happened to Shield, ladies?
Exactly.
Another reason why Caleb should watch Agents of Shield is that they were setting up the Inhumans right now.
Yes,
What?
they are. They're setting up the Inhumans.
So why the hell aren't you watching it?
Inhumans comes out in like 4 years.
And they're already setting it up. They're getting you ready for the Inhumans.
That's because Marvel knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
In Marvel, we trust.
Listen,
We do not.
Do you think we're gonna get a Stanford incident for Civil War?
No, I don't know. So do you guys think that Spider-Man is gonna? Okay, so this is kind of transformed into talking about the movies, but we're also freaking excited for these movies. That I mean, it all ties in. So everyone knows that because they didn't have Spider-Man, Marvel had Black Panther.
Yeah.
And everyone thought that he was going to kind of take that role. Well,
Yeah.
now that Spider-Man's in, what's Black Panther's role, you guys? Is it because, and this would be so generic, Ultron wants to be made of vibranium, so he goes to Wakanda because that's where vibranium is only made. Really? Really?
I think that's
a credit scene. Actually, I just realized that they could make
And
that.
if you guys notice in
That's how they
the
introduced Black Panther.
first trailer of Avengers 2, Cap Shield is broken.
Yeah.
they also show that lady who kind of looks like Wakandan.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's in the movie and he's going to be in full costume in the movie. So I don't know.
Well, I think there was. I think there was 2 scripts for Civil War. I think one was made with Black Panther, and the other was made with Spider-Man.
I agree.
And I think they're going to use a Spider-Man one because it would.
I'm sorry, but I like Black Panther, but I would kick him to the curb for Spider-Man any day.
Absolutely.
Sorry. All right, so let's get back on track. So, Paulie, go ahead. Get us back on track. Give me your 5 through 1 of your favorite superheroes of all time.
All right, 5 through 1. Number 5, character that I've fallen in love with quite recently. That's Green Arrow. Just the best show on television right now, and it's really elevated Green Arrow to me. I think he's amazing. Number 4, Batman. I mean, I know some people say Superman's the face of DC. I think it's Batman. He's so relatable because he is human. He has no superpowers. He uses his intellect. He just uses his intellect, his abilities alone. I mean, Batman's kind of like the every guy. Number 3, Captain America. I think he's my favorite Avenger. He's just such a badass, especially with that shield of his. I love to have a shield like that.
Right. In the Cap 2, Paul, they made him a badass in Cap 2.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Total badass.
Anybody want to get out?
Yeah.
Number 2, Spider-Man. I mean, he's the face of Marvel. I mean, and like we've already talked about, anyone can relate to Spider-Man because he is the everyman, and that's what that's really what Stan Lee was going for. And I remember watching the nostalgia critics debate of old versus new when it comes to the Spider-Man, and the argument he made to explain why Andrew Garfield was a better Spider-Man than Tobey. I just laugh at it. He says that Andrew will overcome anything. You got the feeling Tobey would not. And while that may be the case, put yourself in Spider-Man's shoes. If you're faced with all that responsibility, are you more likely to just give up and quit, or are you more likely to find a way to overcome? You like to think you can find a way to overcome, but more than likely it's just going to be too much for you. And that's why I think Tobey Maguire was better than Andrew Garfield, because he was more relatable. He was a human being. Andrew Garfield was a superhero. Tobey Maguire was a human being in a superhero costume. And that's why another reason why I love the original trilogy, with the exception of Spider-Man 3, obviously. That's why I love the Raimi trilogy more than the Andrew Garfield ones. Because I related more to Tobey Maguire than I did to Andrew Garfield. Tobey Maguire was a human being in a superhero costume. Andrew Garfield was a superhero. All right. And then number 1, anyone who knows me know how much I love this franchise. It's Goku from Dragon Ball Z. I started watching this show when I was 9 years old. I fell in love with it instantly. I had never seen a show like that had that kind of fast-paced action before. It just blew my mind away. And Goku was the fucking king. Like, every time he appeared on stage, on screen, you knew no matter what happened, things were going to be okay. And he always delivers the most epic moments of all time. Like, when he first transforms into a Super Saiyan, that rage he gets into, that explosion of, like, the blonde hair shooting up. Oh, my God, I freaked out watching that. That, to me, was the coolest thing ever.
All right, Paulie. Who wins? Who wins, Paulie? Superman or Super Saiyan 4 Goku?
Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Yeah, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Goku will... But you know what? Here's the thing. Goku wouldn't want to fight Spider-Man. Maybe he'd fight him for fun, but it'd never be a serious match. I think Goku and Spider-Man would be BFF.
Well, he wouldn't fight Spider-Man because he would destroy him. I was saying that Superman, Paulie.
I know. So that's what I said. Superman and Goku would be BFF.
Oh.
They probably spar for fun every once in a while, but I don't think they'd ever fight seriously.
Right. No, I was just wondering. All right, Chris, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 5 through 1, man.
Okay, 5 through 1.
That's right.
5 through 1. Okay, number 5 on my list has to be Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman.
Nice.
The first female superhero. Why? Because she possesses the the qualities you would expect in every superhero. The strength, the courage, the nobility, the drive to fight, to pursue justice and everything. And not only that, she's a feminist icon. I mean, she's like one of the first kind of one of the first fictional icon. Fictional figures for feminism. She just stands up for love, peace, gender, not only just feminist, female equality, but gender equality as a whole. She hasn't, had the most memorable rogues gallery, but but the concept of the character, what she stands for, her, the traits about her, or what make her such a compelling figure, So, and that's why she's number 5 on my list. Number 4 would have to be Green Lantern. Why? The concept of like I said, one of the things is the concept of the character. Having a ring, you can, wish wherever you could, whatever you want. You have the willpower to do anything, stuff like that. And not only that, it's the it's the concept that of the Green Lantern. She had to be completely You had to be completely fearless. Like you had to overcome certain fears. And Hal Jordan, he was one of the Green Lanterns. He was one of the Green Lanterns. He had to overcome this.
Having some technical difficulties here, yeah.
Yes.
So number 3, Chris.
Number 3 would have to be Spider-Man. Why? Because He can,
Spider-Man.
jump on top of a building. He can crawl on building. He can crawl. He can shoot webs. He has superhuman strength, agility, stamina, stuff like that. And not only is Paulie said he's relatable. He has human problems. He's a human teenager. He was awkward. He had a nerdy side to him. He had problems with women. And he has some issues we all face. In our lives. Especially. Oh.
Well, what is going on?
I don't even. Oh.
What in the world?
Well, like I say, he has he faces sort of problems we all face. When we're, like I said, that's what Paul said. That's what Stan Lee was going for. To create a character that you can identify with, the Everman, and kind of like the young King Arthur, or Harry Potter, Luke Skywalker. They have the same insecurity that we do. That's what we, not only that, like I said, with every superhero, he has the values that we can aspire to be: courage, and fighting for justice. That's why he's number 3 on my list. Number 2, Batman.
Of course.
Why? Because and he's a human being. He's flesh and blood. He's just flesh and blood, just like. And the thing about Batman is like his alter ego, Bruce Wayne. He is unique in the aspect. He's one of those where he's unique in the aspect. It's like after his parents were killed and right in front of his eyes, he's like, I'm not going to be a victim. I'm going to use I'm going to, become a symbol for good. I'm going to become a symbol for hope. I'm going to put on a cape and cowl and say, I'm going to kick the crap out of criminals. I'm going to defend for the weak and the helpless. That's what makes him so timeless. It's just like what he stands up for. What he is like. He aspires the best in all of us. Of course, best incarnations, 1989 Batman, completely captured the character. Absolutely. Tim Burton struck gold. How he, crafted that whole, his vision, that whole world, completely blew my mind when I was a kid. And of course, Christopher Nolan, man. What's there to say about him? Especially with The Dark Knight, man. Best superhero movie ever made.
Yeah, I'll debate.
Debatable.
Debatable.
Very
debatable.
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 Not debatable.
Debatable. Very debatable. Very
Not
debatable.
debatable. No fucking way. Not
The
debatable.
most depressing superhero movie for sure. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Number one. This is for another time. All right.
All right. Anyway, Chris, number 1 on your list is Superman.
Yes. The greatest superhero, the first one,
Yes,
the
best.
the first and the best to me, created by, of course, these two Depression era kids. And what's so amazing about it is that these kids, they started out with a simple concept, to create this, this kind of all-powerful character who will stand up, for the little guy, and how he became who he is today. He's just amazing. It all started out as a dream, it's just like how it's incredible how a simple idea like that can transform into something so powerful today, this alien from another world, becomes the most powerful being on our planet, he has all these abilities, some say he's overpowered, some say he's a little simplistic and naive.
He's overpowered as shit, you kidding me?
Oh my god.
He has every damn power under the sun.
Not every power.
All right,
what?
So Chris, great list, man. Good job.
I'm not.
Jack, Jack, hit
I'm
me
finished.
with 5 through 1.
My number 5 is Red Hood, Jason Todd.
That's a
Interesting.
villain.
So you wouldn't classify him as a villain?
No, he's an anti-hero.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay.
I consider him an
Accept that.
anti-hero. I mean, he was a villain at first, but he kind of changed because now he kind of works with Batman and stuff.
Okay, cool.
I liked him because, he was awesome. Just, the way they brought him back, the way they set him up, him hating Batman because, being mad that Joker's still alive because, he took him away from him. him kind of being like a darker Batman, him thinking, you know, we need to kill people basically to save Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
And then, even though he was like a bad guy, he was like, you know, we don't do drugs, we're not dealing drugs to kids, which was cool. And he was just a badass. Like Black Mask like owned the city, and Redhood's like, yeah, this ain't happening. I'm going after you. And he went.
And
after
again,
him.
if y'all haven't seen Under the Red Hood, check that shit out.
Check it out.
Amazing movie.
Best Batman movie ever.
Easy,
No.
man. Relax. Easy.
I'm
man.
calling. I think it is.
Debatable. It's debatable.
The
But it
Dark
was
Knight
great.
Rises.
And then
Gross.
the Red.
Don't even
I
bring
mean,
that movie in here.
He was just great. He killed people. And
Absolutely. So number 4, Jack?
number 4 is Deadpool, the Merc with a Mount.
Cool.
It was just. He's funny as hell. Like, some of the greatest stories I've read are the ones by Daniel Way, where he was basically touring the country trying to be a hero. And him teaming up with Spider-Man, meeting Hitmonkey.
That's not that dirty. No.
And then even him being an X-Men and making his own homemade X-Men comic costume. And Cyclops actually giving him props and saying, "You got some moves." And now he's married. Now he's married to a vampire, and he has a kid. But he's also nuts because he jumps out of windows for no reason, just because he can heal himself. And then he's just a lot of fun because he's insane.
Yes.
And he goes against people like that. Like he went after Norman Osborn because Osborn stole his money. I mean, that's badass. And him, you know, even helping people recently and kind of getting shit for it, like from Iron Man when Iron Man says he will never be an Avenger.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Nightwing, Dick Grayson, the original Robin.
Great
You know,
character.
he's
Underused.
awesome. He was trained by Batman, but he's also been trained by a lot of the other DC heroes. And then some of the greatest stuff was when he took over for Batman. And,
when
you know,
Bane broke his back in Nightfall?
No, I was talking about more recently because Azrael took over. Azrael took over. He didn't. I was talking about more recently when, you know, Batman was presumed dead by Darkseid.
Oh, okay.
And he took over. He was a different Batman. He had fun. He would get caught in the cameras. Even Joker realized that it wasn't the same person, which was cool. He grabbed him by the cape and called him Batfake. And then he kind of had a better relationship with a lot of the DC heroes, which is cool. Because even when he was Nightwing, he knew everybody. I loved his relationship with Babs. Like, I'm so happy they're getting married in the Pre-52 universe. And, you know, he was trained by Batman. But he's not as, obsessed or crazy. He actually cares for more people. And, like, some of the 90s comics were, like, my favorite Nightwing comics. Number 2 is Batman. I mean, he's awesome. He won't kill. That's his number 1 rule, which is pretty cool. He'll beat the crap out of you. He'll leave you in a hospital with broken stitches and a broken arm. But he's not going to kill you, no matter how many things you do, like the Joker. I mean, the Joker's done a ton of shit in Batman. It's almost killed him, but he never has.
Right.
And then he's just badass. He knows every fighting style known to man. And he's cool because he's just, you know, flesh and blood. And he knows how to take down every hero, which is awesome. Like, he's kind of crazy. Like, I loved in the Justice League cartoon when Wonder Woman was talking to him, like, why they can't date, and he was like, you know, you're an Amazon warrior from an island. I'm a rich kid with issues, lots of issues. Which really describes him. And then number 1 is Spider-Man. I mean, he's just amazing, spectacular, ultimate. You know, because I related to him because I was kind of bullied, and so was he. And then he was just awesome. Like, even though he was talked down upon all the time, like Jameson saying, "You're a menace," and even the public going after him, he still did it. He still went after people, and he has a great will. Like when he was able to beat two Phoenix-powered X-Men just by getting them to fight each other. And Spider-Man also doesn't kill, and he's done things that are dangerous. To beat Moreland, he injected himself with more radioactivity, which in all reality could have killed him. But he did it anyway. And then even after the Inheritors and Moreland's family killed a bunch of Spider-Man wouldn't kill him. They threw him in another dimension and threw away the key, basically.
Okay,
That's my favorite.
Nice. So great list. I'm waiting on. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Okay, I'll just do mine, and then I have a bonus list. So.
A bonus list?
It's not my bonus list. It's someone else's. So. Someone else's list. It's my
girlfriend's list.
Yeah, my girlfriend's list.
Yeah.
That's right. She's a big superhero fan. Girls can like superheroes too, Max. You know. Just because you think girls have cooties, they don't. Don't worry, but you'll get through it. Anyway, I'm gonna go through my 5 through 1, and whenever she feels like writing me and what hers is, then I will say it on here so that you know.
Is she camera shy?
She's very camera shy.
All right.
Anywho, so number 5 on my list, Flash. I mean, my God. I mean, I was always a Flash fan. I mean, who like wouldn't want super speed? I mean, who wouldn't want to be able to run fast and time travel? You know, the Speed Force, all that cool stuff. But what really put Flash over the top for me is the show. I mean, the show it's getting so good. The story, I'm so engulfed in it. It blows me away. It's so good. I wish we could have Grant Gustin as our Flash in the movies.
He should
be.
Yes.
It is what it is. But oh well.
Who's your favorite Flash?
Number 4, Iron Man. I've always been an Iron Man fan, but again, what really put it over the top, I was one of the kids that watched the 90s cartoon, you know, all that good stuff, watched all the cartoons with the Avengers and stuff, but the 2008 movie, that really changed. I mean, a lot of people will say that their favorite movie from that year, you know, for superheroes was The Dark Knight, which was obviously a huge movie, a great movie. Let's not forget that Iron Man also came out that year, and it was fantastic. I mean, it's the one that kicked off the MCU, and it's damn good. I mean, it's such a great origin story. It tells a story. It expands on the character. It takes him from a C-level character to an A-lister. Iron Man is a huge thing now. Iron Man 3 made $1 billion, and that movie sucked. So
I liked Iron Man.
The character is so huge now. It's so big, and it's like just a great character. But Robert Downey Jr. is so damn good. I mean, my God, I couldn't see anyone else playing that role. Like
he's never allowed to lead.
They're the same person. He's in the Hugh Jackman category now, where they just can't stop being their characters. Number 3 on my list is Spider-Man. I mean, again, like everyone else, I grew up watching the cartoon. I grew up just loving Spider-Man, relating to Spider-Man, because he was older than me, you know, obviously, but I mean, you could relate to him. You know, he was around my age, and you know, yeah, he had problems, you know, like real world problems, like, you know, it's like this guy has superpowers, yet he has a job, and he has to take care of his family, you know, and he has trouble with girls, and I mean, all that stuff that you guys mentioned, I mean, just made me relate to Spider-Man, the character, and it was awesome. So, number 2 on my list has made the biggest jump of anything. Anyone who watches Arrow knows how amazing that show is, how top-notch that show is. And I want to give a big shout-out to, and I will share this video on his Twitter, on his Facebook, Stephen Amell. If you ever see this video, I want to give to you, sir. You are one of my favorite people. You are one of the most amazing people. All the charity stuff that you do, and you're amazing on Arrow. As I'm Oliver Queen, keep doing what you're doing. Anyone that's not watching Arrow, I was skeptical at first. Even Paulie was skeptical at first. Once you get hooked on it, though,
I was skeptical at
it's
first
a
too.
drug, man. This show is so good, but once you get hooked, then you're in. You know?
It's my favorite show on TV.
Yeah, it's the best show on TV, in my opinion.
Yeah,
just
I agree.
my opinion.
I agree with
I
that.
think it's the most well written, except for Laurel. I think it's the best.
You cannot talk about Arrow without bashing Laurel. You just can't.
No, you
I had
can't.
to throw that in there. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. But anyway, so yeah, I think it's the best well written, except for Laurel, of course. I think it just looks amazing. The story's great. The settings that they use, and they don't have a huge budget, but it still looks great. It's still great, and the fighting choreography in Arrow.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's so good, and Stephen Amell and John Barrowman are my two favorite people on the show, and their chemistry together is amazing. So yeah, you guys aren't watching Arrow, great, and it's made me appreciate Green Arrow. I mean, he is a poor man's Batman. Who shoots arrows, but maybe that's why I love him so much, because he is so much like Batman. So
Who happens to be your number one?
And number one is Batman. I mean, everyone that knows me, that knows anything about me, knows how much I love Batman. Why I grew up watching the show, why I grew up watching the movies. I mean, we already discussed why I love him so much. He's just the best character ever, and literally, I mean, he's just yeah. So yeah. So anyway, okay. So that was my list. Now, I'm gonna read off. She has a top 5. Rex has a top 5. I'm just gonna read it off down. Now, I want to give a little caveat. These are her words that I'm reading. They're not mine. So if they're not, so let's just see how this goes. For number 5.
I'm gonna bash that.
What's that? What's all the background noise? It's loud. Okay. Number 5 on her list is Storm from X-Men. And she says the reason is because X-Men is what started it for her. She remembers sitting with her dad watching when she was little, and her powers intrigued her. And she loved how she looked, and the fact that she's a woman doesn't hurt. Okay, cool. It's good stuff.
Okay, what's with the background music? I cannot concentrate.
Yeah, guys, I can't concentrate. What is that?
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Is that you, Jack?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in my room. Hold on 1 second.
All right. Yeah, just kind of mute your mic because it's loud. Thank you, bud. All right. Number 4, everybody. Jean Grey, the Phoenix. Oh. Because her powers are amazing. The fact that she can die and be reborn is really cool to her. Okay. Number 3, the Punisher. He's just badass.
All right.
He's just badass. Number 2 is Iron Man.
All right.
She loves his attitude. He has a very cool and expensive toys, and he's a super smart. Love his suit and overall look. And I don't even have to look at what her number 1 is because I already know. She's just like me. It's why she loves me so much. Her number 1 is Batman, just like me. It's one of the first things that we bonded over, because he's just an amazing character. Everybody, I mean, come on. It's fucking Batman. I mean, I'm sorry. It's a generic answer, but who doesn't love Batman? I mean, come on. It's fucking Batman. But anyway, yes. So that was her list. Thank you, hon. That was great. Interesting choices. Lots of women on there. We barely had any women on our list.
Can you go over it real fast because I didn't hear?
Sorry, Jack. Sorry. Number 5 was Storm from the X-Men.
I heard that one.
Number 4 was Jean Grey, the Phoenix Jean Grey.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 was the Punisher. Number 2 was Iron Man, and number 1 was Batman.
Mm.
So, yes. So that was good. So, we have to go over villains now. Villains, Polly, villains.
All right.
Now, villains are going to be a little different now. Yeah. It's just going into villains now. All of us have a top 5?
I got 5, yeah.
Okay.
I have 8.
Fair enough. That's fine. Paulie, go into your 1 through 5, Paulie.
All right. Jeez. Number 5, I didn't really put this in an order, so I'm trying to put this in an order right now. Number 5, I would say, would have to be Astronema from Power Rangers in Space. She's like hands down the best villain that Power Rangers ever had. Like, yeah, there were times when she was a little goofy and a little over the top, but for the most part, she was dark. She was mysterious. But most of all,
Overlord Zed, Paulie?
Serious.
Overlord Zed. Over season 2 Lord Zed, not season 3 when he was really
because
cartoony.
even season 2 Overlord Zed before Rita would get a little over the top goofy. Astronema so rarely did that. She was, like I said, she was dark, she was mysterious, but she was serious. She was a battle-hardened general who never messed around.
And she recruited the Turtles to beat up the Power Rangers. I mean, come on, you can't get past that.
And she also created the Psycho Rangers, which are like some of the best villains ever.
All right. So number 4, Paulie?
Number 4, probably the Green Goblin, just because like the iconic status of him. I mean, you know, Spider-Man's arch enemy. He's got the cool glider, the weapon, the bombs. He's a badass, and I love William Dafoe's performance of him in the first Spider-Man film. It's like,
Paulie, he's famous in the comics, Paul. Let's not forget. I mean, he's the reason that Gwen Stacy died. So
yes, he is. Number 3 is the Joker.
Number 3?
Number 3 is the Joker. Yes.
Wait a minute.
Joker, Batman's opposite.
Wait a minute. You stop right now. Do you have a Dragon Ball Z villain as your number 1?
No.
Okay, thank you.
But I have a DBZ villain up there.
Okay, go ahead, Paulie.
I mean, you know, it's the Joker. He's Batman's opposite. He's like one of the greatest comic book villains of all time. He really is. Number 2 is Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. I mean, this was
great character.
Badass. The way he just like humiliated the other fighters, especially Vegeta, just like getting in his head, beating the shit out of him. Just, man, this dude scared the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And
for a while, I always thought Frieza was a girl.
Yeah, I thought that too for a little bit. And the number 1.
He's coming back, Paulie.
Yes!
Coming back.
I can't wait for that movie to come out in the U.S. I want that English dub. I want to see this. All right.
They're releasing it in some theaters, I think.
Yes.
All right,
Paulie. Number 1.
Number 1, this should come as no surprise to anyone who knows me. My all-time favorite villain is Darth Vader. I love Darth Vader.
I didn't think of Darth Vader.
The breathing sound just... Oh, he's so chilling. He's such a badass. And, yes. Oh,
just classic.
God.
Just
the
iconic.
Power that he possesses. He's such an iconic villain. And he's my number 1. Plus, I love Star Wars. I freaking love Star Wars. And as a kid, that guy would scare the shit out of me. So,
of course,
that's why he's number 1, hands down.
She was scary, dude, you know? But definitely. Yeah. Okay,
so that's my list.
Cool. All right, Chris, give me your 1 through 5 for villains. Now, do you have a villains list or no?
Yeah, I do. I mean,
go ahead.
We're comic book villains, right?
But as you saw, Paulie had...
I kind of ruined it.
Darth Vader isn't really...
no, he's not really...
He's kind of off the rails, but whatever.
Yeah, 5 top 5 favorite comic book villains. Right. Number 5, the Green Goblin. Why the Green Goblin? Because he's like... He has this chilling mildness about him. He's a psychopath. He's a maniac, and he's just like... it's just like I don't know what the outfit, the glider. It's just like this insanity that the character has. And Willem Dafoe played the hell out of him in the first Spider-Man. He really just like put chills down my spine when I first looked at him. He was like the perfect interpretation. He was like the perfect guy to play that character, and they fucked him up in Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Dane DeHaan. It's like, I will never forgive them for that. You know. Goddamn. So yeah, that's my.
I thought he had a good laugh though.
Oh, I love the laugh.
Oh, the laugh was awesome.
The laugh was great, but I didn't like him as much as Willem Dafoe. But Willem Dafoe was a little cartoony, and he had like a Power Rangers suit on. He was kind of weird. But you know.
Yeah, and number 4 is Magneto. Why?
Oh, great choice. Great. Yes. Oh shit, I forgot about Magneto. Oh well.
Yeah, because why? Because he has such a distaste, such a hatred for humanity. You know, he's like the Yang. I mean, he's like the Yang to Professor X's Yin. He just doesn't want. He doesn't want a piece of coexistence to between. You know.
He's superior, Chris. He's superior.
Yes. Humans and mutants, and as X-Men was like a metaphor for racism in America. And of course, Magneto is Jewish. Right. So he just has this big chip on the shoulder, and Ian McKellen is just like he could fully embody that character.
Yeah.
I mean, the
so,
angst.
I got to admit, Chris, I like Michael Fassbender as the character better than Ian McKellen. Especially in that First Class, like the one scene when he has when he stabs the guy's hand and he gets his knife and he throws it back and oh, that was awesome. Anyway, sorry, I just love Fassbender. I think he plays that character amazing.
Yeah.
And anyway, Chris, go ahead. Number 3.
Yeah, number 3 would have to be. I mean, I don't really. Oh man, I didn't really prepare a list for this. God damn, man. Number 3 would have to be Loki. Loki from.
Loki. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Loki. Why? Because he's Thor's adopted brother, and he's just like there's a charm to this character, and there's a ruthlessness to it, and of course he has a disdain for his adopted older brother. He just passion and just. And Tom Hiddleston. What's there to be said about Tom Hiddleston? He's like how Heath Ledger was when he played Joker in The Dark Knight. He absorbs himself into that role. He completely loses himself, of course, with Thor and the Avengers, Okay, that's number 3 on my list. Number 2 would have to be Lex Luthor from Superman, Lex Luthor, why? Because, he's this little man, with the big intellect, he has this jealousy for Superman, he sees him as nothing. He's the only one, and he's probably the only human who can match Superman in terms of intellect. He's like, we always, how James Bond has Blofeld, how Moriarty has is the foil to Sherlock Holmes. I mean, Superman. Lex Luthor is that to Superman. He's just like, the guy with super intellect super businessman who can buy you. It's just like the complete ruthlessness that the character has. I wasn't a fan of Gene Hackman's interpretation of the character. He did have some chilling moments, mind you. But I liked him in the cartoon series. Just like.
God.
Yes, Clancy Brown voiced the hell out.
Yeah. So you guys excited for Jesse Eisenberg?
No. Not really. No. I like how they're going for him, like as a Mark Zuckerberg type of, kind of power hungry, tycoon.
I'm kind of sick of Luthor in the movies.
I mean, but they let them out in Man of Steel,
I mean, like 3 of those Chris Reeve ones.
Yeah,
and Superman Returns. So.
Oh yeah.
Are we gonna count that?
No, but please don't.
Are you gonna count Superman 3?
He didn't appear in Superman 3.
What? It was some other dumb villain, Okay.
Oh, sorry. Are you gonna count Superman 4 then?
Hell no.
Point.
Nobody cares about Superman 4. It's like,
exactly.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
So anyway, all right. So number 1, Chris.
All right, number 1
is
the
it
Joker.
Of course.
I think I'm the only person who does not have Joker at number 1.
Oh,
he's not my number 1 either.
Oh Lord. What's there to say about the clown person crime?
That's right.
All right, let me stop. He's
so
diabolical. He's diabolical. He's malevolent. He's he just has a chilling presence about him. Just like. He's like the number 1 enemy on the Batman. He's the number 1 enemy on Batman's list. The one who could really,
easily,
really push him to the limits.
It's like him and everyone else.
Yes, absolutely. Has above the rest. Jack Nicholson, man. What the, what was he smoking when he played that? That was like complete brilliance right there.
Yeah.
Especially, with the especially with the
You ever danced the devil in the pale moonlight? You ever done that, Chris? I mean, just some of the things he did that just came out of his mouth were awesome.
Yeah, no, but Heath Ledger, of course, the great Heath Ledger, he took it to another level, man. Just as like
Trick.
Yes.
I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. It's gone. That scared me to death.
No, I almost let that on my seat when I saw that part. That was like completely. That was sick. How he.
That wasn't the scariest, most disturbing part of that movie, though.
No, it wasn't, but it was great.
What was the most disturbing part of that movie? When he's calling out Batman to reveal his true identity, and he's interrogating one of the followers of Batman. And
man,
yeah, that scene.
That was terrifying. Just like he's like, and that adds to what was so brilliant about his interpretation, about Ledger's interpretation, the scariness, the psychoticness, of the character,
Yeah, that was definitely the
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yes.
Can I do my list?
Yeah.
All right, Jack, go ahead.
Yeah.
I have an honorable mention, which is Venom.
Okay.
And then my actual list, number 8, is Harley Quinn. She's an amazing character, and I think it's amazing that she was created by Paul Dini for the TV show. And, everybody kind of loved her, that she was eventually made canon into the comics. And, whenever you think of the Joker, you think of Harley Quinn, too.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually kind of a little smarter than Joker in some interpretations. Number 7 is Deathstroke, the master assassin. I mean, I loved his rivalry with Dick Grayson in the comics, but also my favorite Slade is the one from the Teen Titans television show. That was like when I first really learned about Slade, and I was in love with him as a character. That was awesome. My number 6 is Doctor Doom.
Dr. Doom, okay.
Because he's really intelligent, even though and he's evil, but he kind of thinks he's doing the wrong thing. And one of my favorite things about him is that he has diplomatic immunity, so he can't really do anything to him, which I loved. Like, you can't arrest him. So you'd stop whatever plan he has, and then you'd go back to Latveria and sulk. Number 5 is Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
His origin story, really, from the animated series Hard Device, which is like an amazing episode.
And even Schumacher, to his credit, knew how brilliant it was to have that right origin story.
Yeah. And then
wait a minute, did you just praise Batman and Robin?
I was something that nostalgic with it, that even Joel Schumacher, to his credit, knew how powerful the image of a frozen wife was. Still doesn't excuse that terrible movie. But I mean, when they do something
want to see
right,
Mr. Freeze in all his glory, watch Sub-Zero. It's a great
movie.
Oh yeah. Mr. Freeze is an amazing character because he doesn't really want to do violence. He's doing it all to save his wife, which is honorable, except for the New 52 where they ruined him.
They ruined a lot of things in New 52.
Yeah. Number 4 is Bane.
Awesome.
Who is the only villain to ever best the Bat in mentally and physically. And the way he went about breaking Batman's back, because he knew he couldn't take on Batman in a straight-up fight. What he did was he released all the criminals out of Arkham Asylum, and Batman spent like 3 months just rounding everybody up. And then when he finally, went back after like a non-stop 3-month crime fighting, Bane just went to his back and broke him.
Yeah, because he was so exhausted. He was so just out of it that he couldn't take
which is what I liked Bane, because he was physically strong enough, but also mentally, smart enough to go toe-to-toe with Batman.
Absolutely.
Number 3 is
Nightfall. Great comic, great one.
Number 3 is Ra's al Ghul.
Lots of Batman here, Jack, huh?
Yeah. He was just a great villain. He wants to save the world, even though he kind of wants to kill everybody on it, even if it means, killing his own daughter, basically. And he wants Batman to be his heir, which is kind of cool. And, he's, immortal, which is awesome, and he's, a terrorist, so Batman can't really lock him up for that long, because he has, a whole, League of Assassins thing going, which is awesome. Number 2 is the Joker. He's awesome. He's killed Jason Todd. He's paralyzed Barbara Gordon. He's killed James Gordon's second wife. Batman has wanted to kill him, but hasn't. He's just an amazing villain. My favorite version of him is the Mark Hamill version. And the darkest Joker ever is Batman Beyond Return of the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
In that flashback when he's like, you're just a kid in a play suit crawling out for mommy and daddy. I would laugh if it wasn't so pathetic. I'll laugh anyway. I mean, it's just dark.
It was great. It was great stuff, though.
Yeah. And then my number 1 is Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin. He killed the love of Spider-Man's life, Gwen Stacy. I try not to consider him being with Gwen Stacy canon.
No.
But, he's an awesome villain, and he's even gone up recent years, like when he took over S.H.I.E.L.D., basically, and made Hammer, and was kind of like the good guy for a while, and, the New Avengers were kind of the bad guys, which was kind of a cool storyline, and, that was really cool, and then, he came back recently, and then he got, like, a bunch of powers, and then, right now he's, I'm waiting to see what he's doing next because he's been cured, and now he's just evil.
Nice, nice.
And then even in the Spectacular Spider-Man, he was really good. He framed his own son. I mean, and broke his son's leg, I think, which is messed up.
That's right. Okay, nice, Chuck, nice. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to go through my list of my favorite villains of all time. Then I think we're going to get out of here. So, number 5 on my list. Now, I tried to make a variety. Obviously, everyone knows that I'm a huge Batman fan, but I didn't want to stuff it too full of Batman villains. So, number 5 is Darkseid. He's more so, I mean, he is a Superman villain, but he's more so, I would say, a Justice League villain. And just an amazing character. Watching him in Justice League War, the anime movie, was great. I can't wait to see him in Justice League Part 2, because I'm sorry, it needs to be Darkseid in Justice League Part 2. It can't be anyone else. It has to be. It needs to be Darkseid. I mean, my God, he is the big bad of the DC universe. It has to be Darkseid. So anyway, number 4 on my list, Sinestro. One of the smartest villains on my list, I think. I mean, his power, controlling through fear, the Yellow Ring. He should have been the main villain for the Green Lantern movie, but they done fucked that up.
The only good thing about it.
They did the end credit scene for a sequel that will never happen.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's a sequel bait, but your movie sucked, that you won't get a sequel. So just a great character. So smart, so heady. I mean, he trains Hal Jordan. Just awesome. Number 3 is Bane.
I gotta ask you something about Sinestro. Have you been reading him in the Injustice comics?
No, I haven't been reading those lately, no.
Oh, he's really good in that.
Cool. I'll check that out. Yeah, number 3 is Bane. Like, for everything you said, Jack, he's like really the only character that's ever, like, beaten Batman. I mean, really. I mean, guys, Nightfall, great comic. I mean, Batman has so many great comics. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, great character, smart. What they did to him in Batman and Robin was a joke. That was not Bane. That was some guy in a rubber suit. That was not Bane.
It was crushing on Poison Ivy.
Boom.
I can't say it blame
him. How is that Bane? He's one of the smartest Batman villains there is. He might be the smartest and the one of the strongest. He's, I mean, come on now. Number 2 is my favorite Spider-Man villain. That would be Venom. What they did to Venom in Spider-Man 3 is a joke, a travesty against life. Topher Grace as Eddie Brock. What?
Scrawny little Topher Grace.
I mean, seriously, it was a joke. It was terrible. He was in the movie for like 10 minutes. Just awful. Rushed. And, you know, I want to see Venom in all his glory. You know, I want to see a great Spider-Man movie made by Marvel with Venom in
Well,
there.
can I tell you something, Caleb?
Go ahead, Paulie.
Do you remember when we were talking about the new writing and directing, and they were going to be calling it like the Spectacular Spider-Man movie series?
Correct.
If that is the case, now I've never read the comic books, the Spectacular Spider-Man comic book series, but I own the complete series that it is based on. If that is in fact the direction they're going, if they are in fact going to adapt that series into a film, this version of Venom, he's very different from the standard Venom, but I think you're going to like him very much. In this version, Eddie Brock actually starts off as Peter's best friend, which is a different twist on it, but over time he winds up hating him more and more. They think Peter's starting to become a slacker, and then when he gets the Venom suit, wow, that becomes like a very interesting fight. So if that's the direction you're going, I think you're going to like this Venom if they wind up introducing him.
Okay, cool.
And it
Sounds
has
cool.
to be Eddie Brock in the film. I don't want anybody else's Venom.
Yeah,
I don't want Venom.
I don't want Flash Gordon or, Flash Gordon.
Flash Thompson.
Flash
Agent
Thompson.
Venom.
Flash Thompson. Thank you, Jack. Flash Gordon. My God. Yeah, Flash Thompson. I don't want that. It has to be Eddie Brock, because you have to do him right. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, number one. It's the Joker. I mean, the greatest villain of all time. Easily. It's not even close. In my opinion, of course. So many great moments. So many great comics, you guys, for the Joker. I mean, my God. I mean,
Killing
like
Joke.
Jack said, he's killed people. He's tormented people. He's paralyzed people. He's done all these damn things.
Oh, yeah.
The guy's fucking. He's just
Like
nuts.
that scene at the amusement park in Dark Knight Returns, he's just killing everyone. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Damn.
The guy just does what he does to get at Batman, because he wants Batman to kill him, but he knows Batman won't kill him. So it's like he just wants to fuck with him. That's like his whole thing. What can I do to piss Batman off today? I don't know. I'll just kill a bunch of people today. Why not?
Interrogation in Dark Knight, God damn. I mean, it's like, Batman wants to like beat that shit out of him. Like, yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
of course.
But
it's just one of those things. I mean, he's just the greatest villain. He's an amazing villain. Yeah, and I just love him. I love the Joker so much. So that's it, guys.
Max, you got a list? You got like a favorite villain?
I don't think he's with us.
I don't think he's with us. All right, Paulie, take us out.
All right, guys. So that's been a very long discussion we've had about superheroes. They've made their impact on pop culture, and I don't think they're going to be going away anytime soon. So that's going to wrap it up. Chris, thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure, Paulie. It's been a pleasure talking about this particular topic.
Yes, indeed. Jack, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, I love talking about superheroes.
Max, if you can hear us, thank you for joining us. And, of course, Caleb, as always, it's so much fun being with you on these things.
Yes, sir. It's always fun, guys. Thank you, Paulie, for talking superheroes with us. We always have fun. We love superheroes. So, guys, we want to thank you for watching. This has been a very long episode. Check it out. Like, comment, give us give us your list for your favorites, your worst. I didn't do any worse, but I could, But if you have that, just give us why you love superheroes, how you got started loving them. So, yeah, thanks guys for watching. Have a good day.
Peace.
Peace.